ये सेशन सबको देने से भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, अच्छा ही, क्योंकि ये सब एजुकेशन का है, पॉलिटिक्स शुरू नहीं हुआ। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you for today's session. So Arthaśāstra Vicāra is the third session. So in the last class, we started discussing about the different types of the different divisions of the education. So ānvīkṣikī, trayī, vārtā, daṇḍanīti. These are the four divisions, and these four divisions are so differently accepted by the different acharyas. So the followers of the mīmāmsādi, that means Manu's followers. So they are accepting only three, means trayī, vārtā, and daṇdanīti. And the followers of the bṛhaspati, so they are saying that they are accepting the two actually. So that is the vārtā and daṇdanīti. The followers of the śukrācārya, so they are accepting only daṇdanīti. So this is the thing we discussed. Today we are going to discuss more elaborately about this and why they are accepting like that. So what is the connection and so on. So other things we'll be discussing. I'll be discussing today's topic also from the Kāmandakīya-niti-sāraḥ. So from there, so the commentary what I am following is one second. So his commentary name is jaya-mangalā. So jaya-mangala's commentary I am following on the Kāmandakīya-niti-sāraḥ. So this is because definitely we'll be covering all the content of the Chanakya Arthaśāstra. Apart from that, so we are covering the points from this also, jaya-mangalā teeka also. So some background noise is coming for all of you. Is okay?
It's coming. Your voice is clear, no problem.
It's clear. Okay. Now it's clear maybe because so loud kirtan is going on outside, so that's why. So in the background you might be having some different So I'll be sharing my file. Oh, you can tell to them actually why they are. You can tell to Vishnuratha to stop. 6:30 their time. Side just to go to near end. Why they have to extend? So, in the previous class, we understood that. So, any person who wants to Vijigishu Raja, that means who wants to conquer the land, and what is the needed thing for him? So, and to conquer it and also to maintain it. First of all, if he wants to conquer the land, so he has to first of all be stabilized in his own country. To conquer neighbor's kingdom, one should nicely stabilize in his own kingdom first. For this, first he has to deliberate on education in association of experts. So why the king has to know, our leader has to know the education, because what is the right and wrong and how this whole society is going on. So that he has to know very nicely. So then only he can go for the conquering the other's land. So because the existence of the society tightly connected with the education, there is a why he has to know education, why he has to vidya vicharaha. That means he has to pondering on the education that is needed, because the society is built by the education. There is a strong connection between the education and the society. So that's why any Vijigishu Raja, Vijigishu means the king who is desiring to conquer the other's kingdom. So why he has to conquer the other's kingdom? That is, if he doesn't conquer others' kingdom, then he cannot establish the peaceful society actually. So that's why he has to conquer that. And first of all, before conquering, so he has to first of all be stabilized actually in his own country. So this, to be stabilized in his own country, he has to know the education. Why the education he has to know? Because the society is built on based on the education. So then one who wants to conquer the earth, he has to discuss about the education with the speakers of that and also users of that. So in the Sanskrit it is said that, so whoever is tatra vidyaihi tat kriyopayataihi chintayed vinayanvitaha. So the people who are knowing the education means four things will come: ānvīkṣikī, trayī, vārtā, daṇḍanīti. Whoever is knowing, so he has to go and approach them, and also he has to approach the whoever is using that in their life. So they has to meet them also. He has to meet them. So that's why any Vijigishu Raja has to know the education. So this education is divided into 4 divisions. Their sequence is as follow: ānvīkṣikī, trayī, vārtā, and daṇdanīti. So their sequence is ānvīkṣikī is most important, because it is a cause for pondering on all subjects. What it means? Trayī, vārtā, and daṇdanīti, these 3 educations are the divisions of educations. So if you want to understand the the tattva of these three, the secrets of these three, one has to know the Ānvīkṣikī. So that's why Ānvīkṣikī is most important. So it will help us to ponder on these all other subjects. That's the trayī, vārtā, and daṇḍanīti. Next important one is Dharma. So to establish that trayī is there. So next important one is Dharma. That means, what is that meaning? Just थोड़ा सा डोर नजदीक. It's like this. It's a Vicāra Raja. The one who wants to be successful. What is needed for him? So education is needed. Why education? Society is built on education. So this education, for that purpose, what he shall to do? He has to be Vinaya. He has to Vinaya means he has to control his senses. Then what? He should take the, or he should associate. He should associate with experts in that education. Who are those? Teachers and also the practitioners. And their practitioners. So this he has to do. That means control the senses, and then only he can understand. Then only he can understand. Tell to them actually. So this education is what? Ānvīkṣikī, vārtā, trayī, vārtā, and daṇḍanīti. So in this, what is the role of Ānvīkṣikī? Ānvīkṣikī, it is helpful to reveal the subtleties of all the types of education. What is the example? How to understand this? I will explain a bit. That means, okay. For example, Ānvīkṣikī, what is the example for Ānvīkṣikī? Example is, so any darshana, you can take Vedanta sutras. This is a darshan actually. So what is telling? It is telling about, this darshan is showing to us what? It is showing about the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord and bhakti. That is the conclusion of the, or otherwise that is the subject matter of Vedanta Sutras. Okay. And also it is telling about you are not the body, you are the soul, and you are the servant of the Lord, and bhakti. This is all, that is what, this is a philosophy actually. And this will help to understand other subjects, or otherwise to see the deeper meanings of other subjects. Trayī is telling about what? Trayī is telling about dharma, adharma, do's and don'ts. Dharma and adharma. So, dharma and adharma. So, what about this? For example, for the Brahmanas, so what is the do's? So, patan, yajan, yajan. That means, so studying, teaching, so performing sacrifice, and performing sacrifice for others, and so and so. So, and that is, and for the Kshatriyas, so controlling protecting the people. So like this, do's and don'ts. Trayī explain the do's and don'ts. Okay. So how this Ānvīkṣikī is connected with the trayī? So for example, Ānvīkṣikī is saying that the purpose of human life is so attaining the Supreme Lord and doing the bhakti. So that's why, but trayī is telling that the duty of the Brahmana is studying the Vedas and teaching the Vedas and performing the yajnas for others, and earning the livelihood by begging and giving the charity to others. And for the Kshatriyas, protecting the people. For the Vaishyas, so it is telling that Vaishyas, they have to do the production of the food grains, and so and so. So these are the, like this, it is telling. So Ānvīkṣikī, trayī is describing the duties of the people based upon their quality. Based upon the quality of the people. So trayī is assigning the various duties. Is assigning various duties. So now they are all doing these duties. So what is the purpose of doing those duties? Ultimately, so Kshatriya is controlling the society and protecting the society. So what is the ultimate purpose? So ultimate purpose is what? He has to offer that result to the Lord. And he has to please to the Lord. That means by doing this, all these varnas, whatever the duties they are doing, those are all has to be for the pleasing of the Lord. So that who is telling? Ānvīkṣikī is telling. Ānvīkṣikī is telling that you are not Brahmana, you are not Kshatriya, you are not Vaishya, you are not Sudra, but eternally you are the servant of the Lord, and your duty is so serving him directly, but you are now in the bodily consciousness. So now whatever you are doing, that you should do for his pleasure. So that means Ānvīkṣikī is the ultimately is teaching the deeper meanings of the other subject matters. That means what is the purpose of those? So why they has to be done? And not only this Ānvīkṣikī is also you can take as Sānkhyā. So Sānkhyā also one of the philosophy. One is the Vedanta Sutras we took, and you can take Sānkhyā also. In the Sānkhyā philosophy, so what it happened? It is telling about the difference between the matter and spirit.
वो बोल रहे हो गया है कीर्तन, जैसे प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, हो जाएगा.
And actually tell to them it's time to others to.
हम बोले क्लास चल रहा है, सब लोगों को करना है ना, कितना देर खींचेंगे, हो जाएगा.
So Vishnunath is there?
I talked to Shivanath Prabhu. He only is organizing it.
Okay. They have to practice, then they go and secluded place.
Practice only guitar teaching that way.
So Sānkhyā will teach about the difference between the matter and spirit. So it will help us actually to understand that means it will set the consciousness. All these philosophies set the consciousness with what kind of mood, with what kind of spirit you have to do the other duties which are prescribed by the trayī. And also you will understand what subject matter vārtā will deal. Vārtā is dealing, so which is beneficial and which is not beneficial. Which is beneficial and not beneficial. For example, you take a farmer. Farmer is doing that means farming. So, but vārtā is nothing but example is what? So, kriṣi parasara is a vārtā. This is a subject matter which deals about the kriṣi. That means whatever trayī is prescribing the various duties, then how to perform those duties successfully, so is dealt by the vārtā. Okay. So in the case of the farmers, especially vārtā is dealing the artha, money. So that comes from where actually? From the Vaishya only. Artha comes from the Vaishya. So that's why vārtā is mainly dealing that a Vaishya, how he has to do his duties successfully in a beneficial way. So for example, sowing the seeds, he cannot sow the seeds in a wrong time. If you sow the seeds in a wrong time, then it will not give any crop. It will not yield to the proper yielding will not come. So this kind of beneficial and non-beneficial things. So what are the beneficial things? What are non-beneficial things? It will teach. Vārtā will teach. So that's why Ānvīkṣikī ultimately set the consciousness, and in what way? So all other educations has to be learned and also implemented and practiced, that we can come to know through the Ānvīkṣikī. Okay. Now you come to our file. Education is divided into 4 divisions. Their sequence is as follow: Ānvīkṣikī, trayī, vārtā, and daṇdanīti. Ānvīkṣikī is most important because it is a cause for pondering on all subjects. That means you'll understand the purpose of all other educations because of Ānvīkṣikī only. So that's why Ānvīkṣikī is the most important thing, which will reveal the subtlety of those educations. Next important one is Dharma. That means in the society, so what? Society, first of all, people will be taught with what? People should be taught with what is the purpose of the life. That's why Ānvīkṣikī has to be taught. That's a philosophy. Then next thing is what? dharma is the next thing. So what activities they should do and what they should not do. So who is going to deal that? Dharma, dharma, that is trayī. Then next, and that's why trayī, dharma is dealt by trayī. Established dharma is cause for the earning livelihood for society. So once if you do the dharma, then what it will come? Dharma, dharmasya heikantasya narthorthaya upakalpate. Dharmasya eikantasya. So dharmasya hyapavargasya narthorthapaya kalpate. So dharmasya hyapavargasya nartha arthaya kalpyate. Arthasya dharma ekantasya kamo labhaya smritihi. So what is said in that sloka? Dharma immediately lead to what? If you perform your duty, like Brahmana is performing his own prescribed duties, Kshatriya is performing his own prescribed duties, Vaishya is performing his own prescribed duties, like Sudra also. Then next immediately what it will lead? That dharma is going to lead the artha. So like example, farmer is there and he is a Vaishya and he is doing his agriculture work, Krushi, then immediately he will be getting the crops, artha. Like Kshatriya, he is nicely ruling his country, then immediately he will be getting the tax. And also Brahmana, so when he does his daily rituals, so then he will be getting the donation. So Brahmanas will get the donation. So he will be performing the sacrifices, his duty as an yajan. So then he will be getting the donations. So this is the nothing but what? Artha. These are all artha. Dharma will lead to what? Artha. For all varnas. Like Vaishya or Sudra, he is doing the, what is his duty? Trayī is saying that you should go and serve all the three varnas. When he serves, then he will be getting the food. Sufficient food, cloth and everything. So then this is artha. So this is the artha and this has to be dealt. This has to be dealt. When dharma is performed, then artha has to be dealt. This artha is nothing but what? Livelihood. Livelihood for the four varnas. For dealing this artha, there is a shastra. That is known as vārtā. Artha is nothing but what? Livelihood. So that has to be so properly dealt actually. That's why vārtā is there. Established dharma is the cause for earning livelihood for society. So next is vārtā. Whenever whoever is engaged in above to remove obstacles in their path, daṇdanīti is required. So then next what? So all the four, trayī is telling that what should be done by the society, everyone what they should do. And then vārtā, that means then what is next? They are getting the next artha. Then how it should be dealt? That is dealt by the vārtā book. That is the education, vārtā. So now, what is happening? There is a good chance to have the obstacles actually in this. Like now, Vaishya wants to do his activities. Adi Kshatriya or otherwise some Brahmana, he wants to do his Nitya Agnihotra. But there will be some obstacles in this. Definitely in the society, there will be obstacles. Someone may try to stop that. And Vaishya is doing his agriculture and his land may be encroached. So then, while performing, so the things prescribed, and also artha is there. Artha is there, then that may be stolen. When artha is produced, so which is dealt by the vārtā, and that may be stolen actually. And that may be stopped by someone. So then what we need? So daṇdanīti is needed actually. Whatever the activities are prescribed by the remaining three shastras, the remaining three educations, this is also prescribing some activities. This is also prescribing some activities. This is also prescribing some activities. So in these activities, there will be some obstacle actually. And to remove those obstacles, those vignas, then daṇdanīti is required. So then immediately punishment should be given. Someone who is encroaching the land of others and is trying to claim the ownership, then he has to be punished. And someone have then that dharma produced the artha and he kept in his house, and then that is so stolen by someone, then he has to be punished. And Ānvīkṣikī also, that is a dharma actually. So that's a religion actually. You can see this is the religion actually. They are believing on this and they are not following that philosophy. Then they has to be punished. And trayī, that means someone is a kshatriya and or someone is a vaishya and he is not following that and he is trying to become a brahmana. Then he has to be punished. So that means whatever the activities are prescribed by these three educations has to be properly checked actually. For that we need the daṇdanīti. And this is nothing but the society actually. Society is nothing but this only, nothing else. Anything else is there in the society. So that means trayī, what it will do? It will check the nature of the individual in the members of the society. And based upon their nature, so it is assigning the duties. And then artha is coming. So then Ānvīkṣikī is telling that why one has to perform those duties and what they should do with that artha. That means the super guidelines are given by the Ānvīkṣikī. So when they are doing nicely all this, that means according to the Ānvīkṣikī, they have the philosophy that they have to satisfy the Lord. And with that philosophy, they are doing their activities and whatever artha is coming, then that is they are investing the Lord. But while doing this activity, then there will be obstacles in that. Then we need to have the daṇdanīti, punishment. Okay. So like this, so society is nothing but this only. These four educations are very much needed. Who is saying like this? So Chanakya is saying four educations. But the Manu is telling, Manu followers are saying that there is no need of Ānvīkṣikī. Why Manu followers are saying that Ānvīkṣikī is not needed? Without Ānvīkṣikī, then how? So one can get that means, so what is the purpose of doing their things and what is the purpose of, so someone is following their prescribed duties, then what is the purpose? So they may not come to know, na. So what it means then? Manu followers are not following the Ānvīkṣikī means, are they really not following? They are following actually. What they are saying, their point is, Ānvīkṣikī is not a different subject matter. It is also part of the trayī only. So why they say trayī means what we understood? Trayī means so three Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sama. So these three Vedas, that means the main thing is what they are doing. The trayī is describing the Dharma and adharma. So they are saying that Ānvīkṣikī is also part of the Vedas only. So that I am showing here in this. So followers of Manu don't consider the Ānvīkṣikī as a separate division. This is Ānvīkṣikī is two types. The one which follows the trayī, the one which is inside to the trayī. The one which follows the trayī means sānkhyā, nyayā. These are all the different philosophies are given by the different sages, like the Gautama Rishi, like the Kapila. They are all given. That means they are astika darshanas. Those are all. Astika darshanas means those darshanas are developed based upon the Vedas. So that's why those darshanas are the followers of the trayī. So that means trayī, so Ānvīkṣikī is nothing but philosophy. In that philosophy also, you have two divisions. So though according to whom? According to the Manu. So they are saying that, so these philosophies which are following the Vedas, nyayā and sānkhyā, these are all the followers of the Vedas. And another category is what? In this Ānvīkṣikī, another category is the one which is inside to trayī. Example is mīmāmsā, like Upanishads mīmāmsā. So is inside to the trayī, like Uttara mīmāmsā and Purva mīmāmsā. These are the inside to the trayī, inside to the part of the Vedas. These are all. So that's why then what they are saying, ultimately Manu followers, they are saying that, hey, so anyway, these two are the two categories of Ānvīkṣikī. So closely following the Vedas only, or inside are they just following the Vedas. Then why we have to accept this as a separate division? So when one is studying the Vedas means they are also getting the idea of Ānvīkṣikī also. So that's why there is no need of seeing this as a separate category. It is nothing but the part of the trayī. That is their stand. Then I said in the yesterday's class, so the followers of the bṛhaspati, they say there is no need to accept the trayī. Why? Anyone remember? Why trayī is not accepted by them? They are not accepting the ānvīkṣikī, and also they are not accepting the trayī also. So why they are? Any clue? Okay, so I will explain. So the point is, the followers of the bṛhaspati, so they accept only two, that is the vārtā and daṇdanīti. Because what is their argument, society which desires dharma and kāma, that means the people who are desiring dharma and kāma, that means dharma which is prescribed by the trayī, and by that they will be getting that means by doing the dharma, so you can ultimately you can gratify their senses. And that's why for doing the dharma and to gratifying the senses, for these two things, artha is only needed. So then that artha is dealt by the vārtā. So that's why vārtā is enough. So what is the believers of the bṛhaspati? The followers of the bṛhaspati, they say, they don't have followers of bṛhaspati, so they don't believe in something beyond the material world. So they don't believe something beyond the material world. So that's why their consideration is what? Their consideration is what? Eating and sleeping. That means you do work. Dharma means doing work. And then after that, so gratifying the senses. That's the kāma. If you want to do these two, you need artha. So then what is the need of studying the Vedas? What is the need of studying the Ānvīkṣikī? These are all completely bogus. No use of these two. So that's why according to their, so see, it simply depends upon the leader. That leader is saying that there is no other amrita. That means there is another state where you can have the permanent happiness. So that kind of state is not there. Only thing is you do work and enjoy. If this is the philosophy, then in that case, there is no need of trayī. That means whatever the work you are able to do, you do that. And get the money and be happy. So that means even they see dharma also just a tool which can give the artha. So that means ultimately artha is the main. Wealth is the main thing. So since artha is a root for both, so for artha, only two divisions. That means earning money, then how to protecting that? Protection is needed. So that's why they accept daṇdanīti. Because once artha is earned, then it has to be protected. So that's why they feel need of daṇdanīti. But they don't feel the need of ānvīkṣikās or the trayī as a separate. They have some philosophy. So that's for that they don't need any ānvīkṣikī as a subject matter. As a special subject, they don't want to deal that as their philosophy is very simple. So that's why they don't need any special division of the education. This is like present day society. In the present day society, people are like this. So काम करो और कमाओ और खाओ और मस्त रहो. So just earn money and that should be protected. That's why penal code, law and order is needed. Law and order is needed, and also so working and earning money and enjoying. That means dharma, artha, kāma. Dharma, kāma, both are dependent on artha. This is their philosophy. That is their philosophy. Followers of bṛhaspati. Dharma and kāma is based on what? Is dependent on artha. And artha has to be protected. It is the root. It is the root for both. So that's why they need to deal artha, they need vārtā. to protection, they need daṇdanīti. That's all. That is the two educations for them. Then what about the śukrācārya's follower? Śukrācārya's followers, they say only daṇdanīti is enough. They believe in only daṇdanīti because all activities of all educations are centered around daṇdanīti. That means whatever you do in this world, that means they are fully, that means giving importance to the only law and order. Because without law and order, nothing is going to happen in this society. So that's why law and order is first. One should learn this. And remaining things automatically, those are all following this. If law and order is there, then other things will follow. There's no need to have a special division for that. It's like asuras. They always give importance to the law and order. That's all. Like śukrācārya school. The most focus is for them. They don't think about doing the dharma. Dharma, what dharma? And also, they are not giving any importance for the ānvīkṣikī, bhul jaiye. So forget it. And dharma also forget. So whatever they like, they do that. And so artha. So just grabbing, just getting. That is artha there. So that's why for them, law and order. Among them, they need law and order. That is. So that's why śukrācārya's followers, they believe in only law and order. That is the main thing. And if that is not there, other activities which are proposed by other educations are simply collapse. So that's why one is there. Next, now we'll be coming to our Chanakya's Arthaśāstra. One more point. So some places daṇdanīti is also considered as the permanent one. Why daṇdanīti is considered as permanent? Because daṇdanīti is not there in the society. That means law and order is not there in the society. All other three, so that means activities prescribed by all other three educations will be collapsing. So that will make, daṇdanīti will make those to be sustained. Those educations to be existing. So that's why daṇdanīti is known as a śāsvati. That means it is a permanent one and it will make others also to exist. So like this, also some acharyas are having the opinion actually. So the whole world whole society is tightly connected to these four educations. Anything else are you seeing in the society? Anything else you need? Any other education you need other than these four? So there is no need actually. There is no need of any other education. Only these four are enough. So king has to know all these four. He has to learn all these four from an expert. And then he can easily understand the activities which are going in a society. Then he can properly make them everyone to be engaged. If king doesn't know trayī, that means trayī is describing the duties of the each varna. If king doesn't know this trayī, then how he can see that everyone is following their duty? And artha. So vārtā is dealing the artha, that means beneficial and non-beneficial. If king doesn't know this vārtā, that means how, so what are the beneficial things for the Vaishyas? And when they have to do the sowing the seeds, and what they should do, how they should do successfully. If king doesn't know, then he cannot so make the people, or he cannot so deal the things. That means he cannot see that, he cannot guide the people, or he cannot engage the the other, that means people in the society in a righteous way, in a beneficial way. Not only righteous way means dharma, and in a beneficial way. And also king has to know daṇdanīti. Daṇdanīti means so law and order. So what kind of punishment has to be given for the what kind of mistake? So he has to know. That's his core subject, that is. Daṇdanīti is the king's core subject. He may not be expert in the vārtā, and he may not be fully expert in the trayī, because performing the Vedas, studying the Vedas and performing the yajnas, that he may not know. But he has to know some basic knowledge, the duties which are prescribed by the Vedas. And king has to know the Ānvīkṣikī also. What is the religion? That means what is the philosophy of this set of people? And are they following or not? So that has to be checked. So that's why king has to know all these 4 educations. But he should be expert in daṇdanīti. So that he has to do beginning, initially. He has to control his senses. Vinayaha means controlling senses. And vriddha sanyogaha, that means meeting the experts in those educations. In the present day society also, yes, this is applicable actually, anytime. But in the present day society, whatever the organizations or whatever the industries are there, they are nothing, they are small scale actually. But this is the bigger scale leader. This Arthaśāstra is training a leader for the whole society, not just a leader for a small unit in a society. That's a industry, a small unit that's a Vaishya's business, and it's a small unit. He is also leader for that industry. But he is not having so many big affairs like the king. But this Arthaśāstra is dealing the king. So if you come to know, then you will get all the knowledge actually. So the principles of management you will automatically get. Okay, you'll be going even more, that means deeply into the about these 4 educations, because some more points are there which we have to understand. Okay. So I will open. You can also follow your English translation. We studied till here. Next, Sankhyam Yogo Lokayatam cha iti Ānvīkṣikī. Ānvīkṣikī means philosophies. Sankhya philosophy, yoga philosophy. Lokayatam means like the Charvakas. That means they are believing only. Charvakas means you can say the followers of the bṛhaspati. They are only eating and enjoying. So that's all. Enjoying the sense gratification. Nothing else is there. That's a Lokayatam. There's also philosophy actually. So these are all the different kinds of Ānvīkṣikī. But the followers of the bṛhaspati, they don't accept the Ānvīkṣikī. That means they have philosophy, Lokayatam, but they don't think it is a big subject matter. But just for the sake of counting, it is counted as Ānvīkṣikī. Next, Dharma, Dharmo, Trayā. So Dharma, Adharma are coming under the trayī. Artha, Anartha means beneficial and non-beneficial. It is coming under the vārtā. Nyaya, Apanaya means law and order. So what is the right and what is the wrong? That means what is the punishment actually, not right and wrong. What is the punishment should be given for what mistake? So that is the nyaya. So daṇdanīti. And to understand the strength of all these, bala balecha etasam hetubir ānvīkṣimāna. That means scrutinizingly, if you want to understand. So like an example, king is giving the punishment. He's giving the punishment. Someone has stolen the money and he is chopping off his hand. So why he has to do this? What is the philosophy behind this? Being a king, that means he is the representative of the Lord, and Lord is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he is making the law and order on behalf of the supreme Lord. And so that if someone is doing some mistake and he should not continue that further. So that's why we are giving the heavy punishment, so that that jivatma will be saved from the sin, so that he will not be going to the hell. He is not going to the lower planets. So all this philosophy, how you will come to know? That is from the Ānvīkṣikī. So that's why Ānvīkṣikī is the most important thing. Chanakya says, among these four, the most, that means atyanta pradhanam, pradhanatamaha, the most important thing is Ānvīkṣikī. So that's why our Prabhupada's movement also is like this only. 4 movements: Sankirtan movement, temple entry movement, and initiation movement and classless society. He also says first and foremost is the, so Sankirtan, that means not only just Sankirtan means chanting only and doing Kirtan. Sankirtan means reading books also and understanding the philosophy. Like Bhagavad Gita comes under which subject, which education? It comes under the Ānvīkṣikī. And Bhagavad Gita is describing. So why one has to do their karma? Like example, Arjuna is prescribing, that means Krishna is telling to the Arjuna not to leave his dharma. He has to follow his dharma. Even that means he may feel, that means, so some kind of, because of the interest for the, because of the attraction towards some kind of sense objects. Like example, his grandfather is there, Bhishma, and he is very dear to him. And that's why he doesn't want to kill him. And because of this kind of attraction, material attraction, whatever he got, and he is not ready to kill him. So then Krishna is what is telling. That means you cannot stop your dharma. Matra sparshāstu kaunteya sītoshna sukha-dukkada agama pāyino tān titikṣasva bharata. So Bhagavad Gita first 6 chapters are saying same thing actually. So that means it's Ānvīkṣikī. So it is telling the purpose behind the doing the dharma. So even if you get the material pain and pleasure, so you have to bear that, but you should continue your duty. If you do like that, then what will happen? You will come to the, you will transcend from the rajas and tamas to the mode of goodness. Then you will be getting the, you are not body, you are the soul. This kind of knowledge you are going to get. Then, but that means that is leading you to the ātma-tattvāya kalpate. That is leading to you to the moksha, to the liberation. So that means these Ānvīkṣikī Shastras are just helping you. So the purpose behind the doing the activities which are prescribed by other 3 educations. Okay, so that is the important point. That means trayī is telling you to do the kshatriya dharma. Then why one has to do that? Why one has to do those all the dharmas? The reason you can find through the Ānvīkṣikī. So that's a society needs all these 4 educations, and Bhagavatam is also saying these 4 educations are needed. And any Gurukula, or any school, or any educational institute, or Varnashrama college, or Gurukuls, so has to teach these 4 educations. Has to teach, and society is built on this. Now the Ānvīkṣikī is missing, then what is this nonsense? It's simply useless. So that means it is just what it will become. It's like a philosophy of whom? Like the bṛhaspatis. Followers of the bṛhaspati, same. Do some activity and earn money and enjoy. That means money earning is the center. Artha is the center. And because of artha only one is able to perform his duties. And by the artha only one is able to gratify his senses. That's why artha is a pradhana. This is their stand actually. But a full society, a proper, complete society cannot be built based upon just the principles of the artha. No. So next, Pradipaha sarva vidyan Ānvīkṣikī lokasya upakaroti. Ānvīkṣikī really help the society. To uplift the society, Ānvīkṣikī is so useful. Otherwise, Ānvīkṣikī is not there. People will become animals actually. Vyasane abhyudayecha buddhim avasthapayati. Ānvīkṣikī will make you in all the time very stable actually. It will make your intelligence stable. Like example, Ānvīkṣikī. So Krishna is saying you are not body, you are the soul. And whatever the material, that means But whenever your senses are coming in contact with the sense objects, then at that time you may be getting the pain or the pleasure. But you are not the, so body, you are the soul, and soul doesn't, so connected with this material pain and pleasure. So that's why, oh Arjuna, you should bear this pain and pleasure, but you should follow your duty. So that means what? Ānvīkṣikī will make your intelligence stable, and it will make you to strictly follow your dharma. Even you may in the laws or in the jaya-pajayo, samaya krutva, so labha labho, jaya samaya krutva, so siddhya siddhyo, samaya krutva siddhyo siddhyo, jaya pajayo, labha labho.
Sukha dukkhe samaya krutva, labha labho, jaya jayo.
This one, where is Prabhu?
In the Bhagavad Gita, I don't remember the verse. Sukha dukkhe samaya krutva, labha labho, jaya jayo. Tato yudhaya yujyasva, naivam papam apsas.
So what it is telling, Ānvīkṣikī, so Bhagavad Gita is telling, even you may get the loss or the profit, but you should be, that means labha is coming under the what? Vārtā. So you may get the labha or the alabha, but you should be stable. You should not leave your dharma. Buddhim avasthapayati. It will make your buddhi stable actually. Ānvīkṣikī. Prajna vakya kriya vaishāradyam cha karoti. Not only this, if you Ānvīkṣikī example, if you learn the different philosophies like the nyayā. Nyayā is also philosophy and also it is tool. If you learn the logic nicely, it will help you to understand deeply any subject. It will make you expert in any other subject matters. And it will make you to do the activities so nicely. And it will increase your talent actually. So that's the thing. So that's why Ānvīkṣikī is very, very powerful. That's our society now, being Krishna conscious movement, we are able to establish Ānvīkṣikī. So reading Bhagavatam and describing the Param-tattvam to the society is nothing but what? So we are promoting the Ānvīkṣikī. But we are not dealing the other three. Vārtā, daṇdanīti, trayī, vārtā, daṇdanīti is not dealt by us. That's the 50% is remaining actually. That's why we need a college where we can teach the duties for the people in general, in the society. That means whoever is coming to our Krishna consciousness, first of all, they should accept the Ānvīkṣikī. If they don't take the Ānvīkṣikī, then they will come to our society also, then they will make the same way. That means like the followers of the bṛhaspati. How they made actually. That means they are believing only in the artha. So then that is very dangerous. So that's why first Ānvīkṣikī they should accept. Then after that, we are trying to, that means Prabhupada wanted us. But in the traditional time, from the childhood, they are all given with this 4. They don't know any. That means they will simply surrender to the Guru and Guru is teaching. That means Ānvīkṣikī will be changing from the school to school. Like the Gautama follower school is having the nyayā and others like the like Kapila's school, their followers having the different. Like this. So every school is having their own philosophy, Ānvīkṣikī, and trayī, vārtā, daṇdanīti also. Based upon that, the mood while doing those 3, that means the activities prescribed by those 3 educations will be set actually. So that's why, but the principles are same. These 4 educations are needed in any school actually. So now the Bhagavad school actually ours, our Krishna conscious movement. And our philosophy is clear, Krishna conscious philosophy. And now the society has to be, next what is the next thing? The trayī, that means deciding the dharma for everyone. So how to do that? So Ānvīkṣikī, our Shastra is saying, So Chaturvarnam Maya system. Vedas are saying. So Bhagavad Gita is not only just telling the Ānvīkṣikī. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says Bhagavad Gita is dealing the 18 types of education. What are the 18 types of education? The 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas. So next Puranas, next nyayā, and 4 Upavedas, 16, and next Arthaśāstra. One more is there. Total 18. So 18, you can see those in the, I will send otherwise. I will send that. Anyone can remind after the class, I will send that 18 educations. So these 18 educations, Bhagavad Gita is dealing. And so my point is, so that's why here, so Vedas are telling, that means one has to follow his nature, and according to his nature, the duties should be given to him, and he should stick to that. Whatever that means, pain and pleasure comes, or failure or the success may come from that, but he should not leave that dharma. He cannot change his dharma. So that means dharma is given by the trayī, and who is checking that he has to do that? Then daṇdanīti will check that. The king, that means the daṇdanīti is telling that he should not leave that, and if he leave that, then this is the punishment. And that's why we need to have a college, actually, Varnashrama college, Daiva Varnashrama college. We should train our devotees, whoever is coming from our organizations, whoever they, that means taking the Diksha, at least 16 rounds, they are chanting on 4 regulatory principles. They committed now for the, so Diksha, that's Prabhupada says 4 movements. Diksha is the 3rd movement. Then after that, next movement is what? Now let them, so we should not do the activities whimsically. They has to do their activities based upon their nature. Because now they are not in pure devotion. You cannot say that the 16 rounds is enough to do the pure devotion. Pure devotion means, so 24/7, one has to do the by body, mind, or soul, by body, mind, or the speech. So that direct devotion to the Lord, that is the pure devotion actually. That means jnana karma dhyanavruto. If one is in a pure devotional platform, he doesn't need actually. Doesn't need any things on the bodily platform. But whoever is still in the bodily platform, still not full surrender to the Lord, and not able to engage 24 hours in the direct devotion to the Lord, then for them there is a need to assign the dharma for them according to the Shastra. That is a must actually. Tavat karmani kurvitai nanirvidyeta yavata. So matkatha shravanado va shraddha yavanna jayate. So we are seeing in Krishna actually is saying in Uddhava Gita, so tavat karmani kurita, one should do his karma, his varnashrama dharma. That means the karma means the karma which is prescribed by the 3 Vedas, trayī. That he has to do because he is not fully engaged in the direct devotional service. That means still he is engaged in some material activities. Those material activities has to be done according to the Shastra, not whimsically. So that's why trayī. So that means our movement, so one should be properly trained according to his nature. Then after that, so then those activities has to be beneficial actually, should earn the livelihood nicely. He is doing the agriculture, but it is not going to produce the yield, then how he can live actually? He has to do nicely that, na? So that's why vārtā, that means he has to be taught. That means trayī is telling Vaishya should do the agriculture, but how to do that agriculture? What time seeding one should sow the seeds? What time should cut? So who will be going to deal? Then vārtā will deal that. That means Krishi Parasara, like the Ayurveda Shastra, these are all. So Brahmanas are the, so Jyotish Shastra, these Brahmanas can be Jyotishi. But how to do that Jyotish Shastra? What is that details? That will come under the vārtā. But actually Jyotish you cannot say under the vārtā exactly, because it is also comes under Veda, but especially artha, that means money earning. So especially Krishi, this will come under the vārtā, artha. Arthaśāstra is also dealing the how to do business also, how to increase the money. So that means so Sudras are producing the lot of different types of the goods. So then how those has to be exchanged and so on. So this is the artha, and that also has to be taught. And ultimately, there should be a law and order to see that people are following their own duties and their own philosophy, and no artha is stolen by any other one. So that's why that is a thing. Varnashrama college is needed. Prabhupada is telling again and again. So in 1972 and also other many years he said. So I sent one video actually. I shared in our group. So we are doing that class with the team of research team members are there. We are discussing. You can also hear that. Next, we'll go to the next chapter. Trayī sthapana. Now we are going to discuss even more elaborately about the trayī. Sāmargyajur vedaha trayaha trayī. Sāmargyajur. 3 Vedas are known as trayī. Atharva Veda, Itihasa Vedaucha Vedaha. Of course, Atharva Veda and Itihasa is also Veda. You know, Purana Itihasa is also known as Veda, Panchama Veda. How many Vedas are there? 5 Vedas are there, not 4. So it's a wrong concept actually, 4 Vedas. Panchama Veda, Bhagavad is saying, Purana and Itihasa are the Panchama Veda. Many times actually it's a cheating done to us. By considering the Puranas and Itihasas as just a non-Veda, non-Shruti, then giving the lower importance to that. So that Bhagavatam is having the inferior, that means inferiority among the Vedas compared to Vedas. So that is the purpose people wants to establish. śukrācārya and his followers, they don't accept the Puranas as the highest pramana because they say that it is not Shruti, it is not Veda. But that is not true actually. But actually Purana Itihasas are also Veda only actually. And they are having the same power. The Vedas are having the authenticity. The same authenticity is there with the Puranas and Itihasas also. And in that one is among that is the Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is also the same strength it is having, the strength of what the Vedas are having. You cannot see, you should not see that it is not Shruti. You cannot say like that. So because Bhagavad is directly speaking about the Krishna. And people who doesn't want to see that establishment of Krishna in the society, they purposefully said that these 4 only Vedas and Puranas are not Vedas and ruled out. If they accept that is also Veda, then they have to justify that also through the Vedanta Sutras. Through Vedanta Sutras, when they do the Bhashya on the Vedanta Sutras, then they have to do the Bhashya which is going to fulfill the truths explained in the Puranas. That is the Bhagavatam. So that's why to escape from that, they said that it is a secondary, it's not full authentic, so leave it. So, but we should not follow that. 5 Vedas are there. And here, Chanakya is saying here, Itihasas also Vedas. What else you need actually? And in the Bhagavad it is there. Purana Itihasas, Pancham Veda. Okay. And under the trayī, so what else? Trayī is mainly trayī means Rig, Yajur, Sama. And of course, these are also under the trayī only. And also 6 Vedangas. So what are the 6 Vedangas? Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakaranam, Nirukti, Chanda, and Jyotisha. So these are the 6 Vedangas. Siksha will teach about how the letters should be pronounced. Alphabets. Siksha will teach about the alphabets in the language, Sanskrit language. Kalpa will teach about so Kalpa is a rules actually. Kalpa is a Garhya Sutras actually. It will give the sutras. So Vyakaranam, I will tell about the Kalpa sometime later. Vyakaranam will teach about the purification of the language. How to purify the language. Nirukta will teach the meanings of the words. What are the different meanings of the words? Chanda will be teaching about how to, so meters, that means how to sing the text actually, verses. And Jyotisha will be telling, that means is the eye. Jyotisha are nothing but the eyes. So Jyotisha is deciding the muhurta time. and what moment, at what time, what kind of activity should be done, what should not be done. So like if you want to decide the Krishnashtami, how you will decide? That means whole day, the 365 days, on this day only Krishnashtami, how can you decide? You need some Shastra, that is a Jyotish Shastra. And Kalpa is telling about the sutras actually. For the Grihasthas, what are the different sutras? That means the rules for the Grihasthas and so on. So for the Yajna, rules are set. So these are the 6 Vedangas, also comes under the trayī. Isha trayī dharmaha chaturnam varnanam ashramanam cha swadharma sthapanat dau upakarikaha. Trayī, what is the main function of the trayī? It will give the prescribed duties for the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. This is the decision maker. Trayī is the decision maker of this. Next, Swadharme Brahmanasya Adhyayanam, Adhyapanam, Yajanam, Yajanam, Danam, Pratigrahascha. So, what is the Swadharma of the Brahmana? Adhyayanam, that means studying. Adhyapanam means teaching. Yajanam means performing the yajna. Yajanam means performing yajna for others. Danam means taking charity. Pratigrahanam means giving charity. These 6 are the duties of Brahmana, Swadharma. Sreya Swadharma. Paradharmo Bhayava. One should do the Swadharma all the time. By this, what is the benefit? They will be purified. Their heart will be purified by bearing the dualities, and if you stick to the following his Dharma, so without expectation of the result of that, and so offering that result to the Lord, then that will purify their heart. They will come into the mode of goodness. Even a Shudra also can come into the mode of goodness. A Vaishya also can come into the mode of goodness. When they are assigning the duties, what we are seeing? So one important thing for all of you. So just let me tell. Of course. So what is that? So we are seeing the 3 modes are acting on everyone. So Sattva Pradhana, SP means Sattva Pradhana. We decide them as Brahmana. Rajas and Sattva Pradhana, we decide them as Kshatriya. And Tamas and Rajo Pradhana, then we decided as Vaishya. And Tamo Pradhana, so those are categorized as Sudra. So these 4, that means based upon the, now at the time of assigning the Varna, so we are seeing the Sattva Pradhana. And in the case of Kshatriyas, Rajo Pradhana. In the case of Vaishya, Tamo Pradhana and Rajas Pradhana. In the case of Sudra, Tamo Pradhana. But after taking this duty, this Dharma, and if he does, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, all, even they are not in the now goodness, Vaishya and Sudra and also Kshatriya, of course, Brahmana is already in the Sattva Pradhana. So by following their prescribed duty, what will happen? So they all, that means, and also offering that result to the Lord without any expectation to the result. If they do, then they all come into the Sattva. Amrutatvaya kalpate. Then they will understand, they will realize, not understand. They will realize I am not body, I am the soul. That means doing the duty without any result, without expectation on the result, without expectation. And offering that result to the Lord. If there is no expectation, then what they should do? They should offer that to the Lord. If they do like this, then all they come into the mode of goodness. If they offer this result of their karma to the Lord, so with love, then they will get the taste for the hearing Krishna Katha. But if their result they are just offering to the Lord to get out from the result of the bondage of that karma. See, offering to the Lord is 2 types. You should understand here one important point. Offering to the Lord can be just offering to the Lord for the sake of coming out from the entanglement from the karma. If they do like that, then that is known as nishkama karma yoga. So by this, their antakarana will become cleaned and they will be coming into the mode of goodness. But if they offer the result of their karma to the Lord with love, then they will get the taste to hear the Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha. So then they will progress in devotion. So ultimately what? Ultimately, so my point is, everyone should stick to their duty and do that. If they don't stick to their duty, then what will happen? Then Varna Sankara will come. Then, which is the cause for the collapse of the society. When there is a Varna Sankara, there is a collapse in the society. So that's why society has to be protected by making everyone strictly following their dharma. So whose duty this is? It is a duty of the king. It's a very, very important role. King role is most important role. That's the leader's role. So that's why now we should learn how to divide the society. Next, after that, we should know how to maintain those people to follow their duties. This is our next, that means practical implementation. This is our next practical implementation. Our Gurukuls and our Varnashrama college has to teach this. And after that, so we should train the powerful Kshatriyas who can maintain this. And so that everyone will be benefited. In the nowadays, what is the mood of the society? Now, present day society mood is, hey, whatever I like, I do, that's all. Who are you to say to me? This is a bogus, actually. It's a bogus philosophy. It's a wrong. People also personality development on the name of personality development, on the name of this and that. People, they said, whatever you feel here in your heart, you do that. What is this? It's a bogus, actually. You will feel today this, and tomorrow feel another work. You keep on changing. Then that is a Varna Sankara, actually. That will lead to the Varna Sankara. That will lead to the collapse of the society. Then society will be messed up. So when you bear that means your attraction or aversion towards something and follow your duty, then you are spiritually uplifted, actually. Then there is upliftment in the spirituality.
Tomorrow.
So we'll go to the next point. What is the Kshatriya's duty? Trayī is allotting the duties of the each and every Varna and Ashrama. For the Kshatriyas, what is saying? Adhyayanam, yajanam, danam, shastra jivaha, bhutarakshanam cha. So in the Brahmana, 6 are there. In that 6, 3 are also given to the Kshatriya. Kshatriya should do Adhyayanam, that means he should do the Veda Adhyayanam. Kshatriya should be a vast learned person, not fully like Brahmana, but he should be also very learned person. He should know Vedas, he should know Puranas, Itihasas, he should know all the subtleties of all the duties, and he should do the Yajna, that means he should chant. Yajanam means he should be doing the chanting. Kshatriya must actually this. And Dhanam, he should be charitable. And Shastra Ajivaha, he should earn his livelihood by what? Not by begging. Brahmanas can beg. Pratigrahanam. Dhanam means giving charity, and Pratigrahanam means, sorry, I said I think wrongly in the previously. Dhanam means giving and Pratigrahanam means accepting. So Pratigrahanam, Kshatriyas cannot accept the charity. They have to use their sword. They should always lift, that means up their sword. They should not put down like this. It should be always in the up mode. And ready to punishment, give the punishment to the person who is not following their duty. And for this, and also Bhutarakshanam, he should, any harm is happening to anyone, immediately he will get into that. He's the first person to that, to save that living entity. He will not say that you go, and he will be sitting behind. No. That means protection is the principle, not just killing the people. Killing the people is not just a soldier can do that. Or otherwise, army chief can do that. Army chief is not a kshatriya. So Senapati is not a kshatriya. That means kshatriya means is not sufficient king. That means he's not a king actually. Or kshatriya. That means just killing, who knows how to kill the enemy is not sufficient actually to become a king. He should be having the principle of what? Protection actually. How to give the protection. That means he should save his people also. That should be the underlying principle. He is killing the people. Why? To save the people. And to protect the dharma. So that society should be protected. Varna Sankara will be stopped. So this is the thing for the Kshatriya. Next, Vaishyasyaha. What is the Vaishyas? So prescribed duties. Adhyayanam, Yajanam, Dhanam. These three are there for them also. For all these, Adhyayanam, Yajanam, and Dhanam. Dvija means he should be studying the Vedas, doing the sacrifice. And so whoever is joining, Varnashrama college is meant for these three. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. That means whoever is chanting. So whoever is accepting the philosophy. And whoever is not coming to this college, so they are all Sudras. Engage them for the service. So these three, Adhyayanam, Yajanam, Dhanam, these three are the common for the Vaishya also, but specific duty, how he should earn the livelihood. Krishi, Pashupalye. Krishi means, so agriculture work. Pashupalye means caring the animals, cattle. And Vanijyam. Vanijyam means business. That means whatever the excessive commodities are there, those has to be business. He should do. He can do business with that, and he should not do business so heavily. That means with profit. So who will be protecting that? That who is controlling? Kshatriya is controlling. Whatever the artha activities are happening, according to vārtā, whatever the activities are happening, those will be controlled by the daṇdanīti. If he is collecting more profit, then he should be punished. Shudrasya dvijajati susrusha. Then final varna is Shudra. Dvijati susrusha. Dvijati means Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. Susrusha means serving them. And also they have the vārtā, also they have there. So Chanakya is saying they can do some kind of business. That means they are producing the baskets. They are producing the different articles like pots and jewelry and so and so. Next, Kāru Kushaliva Karma. Just 1 second. So what is Kāru? I will tell. So Kāru Kushaliva Karma. So another 2 minutes are there. So let's. Oh, no? 8 o'clock.
No. 2 minutes are there.
Yes. Kāru means Silpa. Silpakari. So that means carving the sculptures. And also Kāru comes under with the bamboos, doing something with the stones. So different metals, using those, doing the different articles comes under the Kāru. And Kushaliva means Kushaliva. Example is singing. So singing and making the dramas, decorating nicely, beautifully, like all the movie industry comes under the Sudra activity. composing music and this and that. Yes. And making the people get entertained. And singing the different kinds of the stotras. So doing the harikatha, this and that. That means in the villages, harikatha means the devotees, but generally it's occupation also. They make it as occupation in the villages previously, if you see. So people used to come to the villages, they will sing the glories of the Lord, and they will sing about any dynasty also. They will come to your dynasty and they will sing about your forefathers. They will be having the big list of your forefathers and what they did, and they will be singing about your dynasty. So these are all comes under the Sudra's activity. Kushaliva karma. Not only just serving the other three varnas, them skills also comes under this. Okay. So we'll be discussing tomorrow the remaining thing. Thank you very much. Any questions? So time is 8 o'clock. So yeah, Vijay Vinod Prabhu.
Prabhu, you were mentioning about how one can keep rules and regulations for if a Vaishya is trying to become a Brahmana, then he has to be punished, and then there should be rules and regulations, the daṇdanīti should be applied. So I was wondering, how could we use these kind of knowledge in an ISKCON setup where everybody could do any kind of work, that kind of thing. So I was not clear about how to use this.
Yes, Prabhu. So Prabhupada wanted actually, so our ISKCON is meant for the creating the society. The 4 movements are there in the Prabhupada's agenda. So finally society actually. So temple is every activity is a direct devotional activity. So that's completely is a different thing actually. We should not bring that into the modes. So cleaning the temple is not a Sudra activity. Cleaning temple is a transcendental activity. Nowadays people are saying that, so I am cleaning the temple, now I am Sudra. So it's a very, very wrong concept actually. Temple cleaning is not a Sudra activity. Temple cleaning is a transcendental activity. And even if you distribute the books, that means you are not distributing some kind of pots. Distributing the transcendental books is also the transcendental activity. It is not the Vaishya activity. So nowadays people are describing all these 4 varnas. Anyway, we are doing, then what is the need of varnashram dharma? This is the wrong concept actually, which is prevailing in our society. So it's a pure devotional activity. Then if you mix the devotion with the karma, then it is not, that means the understanding of pure devotion itself is not there. Anyabhilasha sunyam gnana karma dhyānavrutam anukulyane krishnānusilanam bhaktiruttama. So that's why you leave the temple now. To understand, that's why I am saying this point. All the temple activities are the transcendental activities. Leave those. Now the point comes, ISKCON means what? ISKCON means not just a temple. Temple is also it's a pure devotional and transcendental activity. And whoever is not engaged in these activities 24 hours, try to understand for whom we need the society, this kind of karma. Who are not able to engage 24 hours in direct devotional activities, which are prescribed by the Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion, the 64 limbs of the sadhana bhakti. So those 64 are the direct devotional activities. If one is not able to engage fully in that, who can engage like that? Who developed the full shraddha in the Lord, those only can engage themselves in that activities. But who are not able to engage now fully, they may be doing the 4 hours, 5 hours, that is not sufficient. But means remaining time, what they are doing? They are doing the activities based upon the body. So then there is a point comes the need to train. That means need to organize that other time. Like in the example, in someone's in your congregation, he is doing the direct devotional activities 4 or 5 hours. But remaining what time? That means 19 hours. What he is doing then? He is doing the material activities, and of course he is offering the result of that to the Lord. But he is doing as a servant in a company. as a worker in a company. That means he's identifying himself as a worker. He's not identifying himself as at that time as a servant of the Lord. And he's earning the money and he might be giving. Then that is not a direct devotion. That is not the pure devotion. Pure devotion means doing 24 hours direct devotion. So then in that case, Prabhupada says that why they has to engage in such a ugra karma, demonic activities. Let them train actually. Now the point comes the Varnashrama college. Let them train them. Now they are at least interested in the Krishna conscious philosophy. They committed for you to chant 16 rounds at least. That's 2 hours in a day. But to come into the pure devotional platform, 24 hours you should be. Prabhupada says 24 hours one should be in the direct Krishna consciousness. So then now the next point, that's why it comes, we should train them. We should train them in such activities. They should not always associate the non-devotees and not affected by the rajas and tamas. And let them train, bring them to who are connected to our temple congregation. Those has to be trained now according to their guna. So chaturvarnam maya system guna karma. Now it's not that all the modes are now is completely wiped off. Then why they have to work there? They will not work. Even if they work, they are in the fully transcendental platform. So then that case, different case. You cannot say that it is everyone is now transcend the modes. So the symptoms also will be there in the Shastra. If anyone is transcending the modes, he has to exhibit that. So that's why, so still they have the dependency on family and also, so wife, these, that, cash, so many things they have. Not fully surrendered to the Lord. 24 hours not ready to do the direct devotion to the Lord. So in that case, Prabhupada wanted to train them actually. So this training is not there at all in any institute, in any organization. Prabhupada wanted in 1972. I will send a file actually. You can see the Varnashrama college in 1972 itself. He said that every temple should have a Varnashrama college. Prabhu, yes. Yeah. So then you have to observe their nature. Then you have to find their nature, and then you have to guide them, train them according to that. So in that case, it is needed. Otherwise, whole society is a mess. So we are teaching Bhagavad Gita, we are teaching the Chaturvarna Maya system, and where we are implementing in the society. Where is that kind of society? Just Bhagavad Gita only for the sake of studying, or also to implement and to show the example to the society. So that's why this is the 50% work Prabhupada wanted. And this is possible by having Varnashrama college. So for that also, we need to have that means expert teachers. For that, we need to have the Varnashrama research teams. So that means some people in our congregation, in your connected devotees in your temple, they should spend time to learn some particular area of the different aspects of the life, like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, in that also so many categories. They will become expert by learning, and they will become teachers to that college, and they should train. So same thing asked actually when Prabhupada said that his disciples, Prabhupada, you are saying us to start to Varnashrama college, but we don't know anything. Then he said, you go and refer the Shastras, you understand that, and train to the people. Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, Krishna Kirti, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you once again for a wonderful class, Prabhu. And just one comment and one question.
Yes.
Comment was when you were talking about just doing a review of yesterday of the last class, talked about how all the different darshanas, including the lokayatas, have to be mentioned. And that just reminded me of like different IAS classes, that they have IAS coaching programs for actually going into. So it's like the IAS also follows a similar kind of principle that they take a whole wide survey of all the different historical philosophies and and so forth like that. So my comment is that this kind of education reminds me of the kind of training you would give for an IAS officer, back then, but nowadays they have, but it's the same principle. My question is, following from this is, if you had an if you wanted to go to the IAS officers or the IAS exam board or the people who run that thing, and you wanted to convince them that, you should add varnashram to your curriculum. Maybe they mention it a little, but, something more seriously. And this is related to a remark you made earlier. You talked about vārtā and how the people do their duties. The Vaishya does his duty, and he plants the crops and he gets a good result by doing his duty. And the Kshatriya follows his duty, he gets a result, he gets the taxes. Everybody, the Shudra, is doing his result, he gets the taxes. So my question in this regard is, if you're telling, by what means can an ordinary man or a common modern educated man can understand that this varnashram system, by following it, is giving a good result that is at least as good or better than what he can get with following his own speculation? That's my question.
Yeah, Prabhu. So that IAS, I want to clarify on that IAS thing. I mentioned that IAS coaching, to see the lectures in that IAS coaching. So to someone wants to learn these 6 philosophies, the basics, IAS in one paper is there. That means Eastern philosophies. So in that paper, so some lectures are available. If one go through those lectures, at least that means in brief, one can understand the 6 philosophies in a top level. That means not in a deep, but in a top level they can learn. So because only for this thing I said actually. So this is the point, Prabhu. And yes, Prabhu, you have any comment? Anything you want to say here?
Well, my question was about how can you, how can a common man, and by common man, I mean someone educated according to the modern system, well-educated according to the modern education system, how can he understand that the duties or system of education is going to produce a result in their activities that is at least as good or better than what than the system they're following? How can they understand?
Yes. So that's why Prabhupada is saying, so this is the duty of our Krishna conscious movement, to make others to understand. So he said, Prabhupada said that our devotees who understood, that means this Krishna conscious philosophy, and also so they committed for the doing the devotion. For them, this thing can be very easy. That means this varnashram dharma. At that time, actually, he was having this kind of understanding. Varnashram dharma also they will accept. But result is differently we got. But the thing is, Prabhupada's expectation is first devotees should start their own communities. So by having the varnashrama college and train the different varnas and set the example actually. Set the example to the society where we can materially also living peacefully and also having the livelihood nicely. So, and also spirituality is going. So such a peaceful kind of living is shown as an example to the society. Then everyone will come and join with us. And it is a mass scale preaching. It will be a big preaching. So that is the only by the example we can show. And for the devotees, so Prabhupada's sentences are the pramana actually. And also it is God-given system. We are believing in the Krishna, and Krishna gave this system. And this is the way to conduct the society. Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. And one should be, human beings means they should be following this system. So that's a faith. It is reflecting the, now it's, if someone is not believing this system, means it's questioning their faith on Krishna also. So that is the way. But it is going to definitely, because you can see the defects also in the outside systems, because they're all unsustainable, actually, very suicidal. So all the systems, if we analyze also, those are all linear systems. Any linear system will be unsustainable. Like example, we are digging the petrol and we are consuming and we are producing the pollution, and then that is causing the so many, that means other global warming and no proper rains and heating the whole system. That means heat is increasing on the planet. But now that we were having previously bull power is very, very it's like a recyclable, actually. So animals, they are eating grass and they are consuming that grass and producing the energy, and they are pulling the cart, actually. And they are giving the dung, and once again they are decomposed, and once again they are producing the grass. It's a cyclic system. It's a closed system. Any closed system will be stable. So like this, every system is like this only. But only thing is, now devotees has to be serious and sincere, and it's one man cannot do this everything. Lot of people's involvement is needed. So to do research on different areas and start a college and train the people. And that's why, yeah.
So what would you say to the IAS officer who says to you, that's nice, we have to go back to bull power and everything, but if we do that, we trade in our factories for animal power, then you have Pakistan and China will come with their tanks and their nuclear bombs and they'll conquer us.
Yeah, Prabhupada said for this also. If someone is using the weapons and that's the bombs, and you are going with the arrow and the bow, it's not going to work. So if that is needed to fight with the guns, then we'll fight with the guns. So, but that's why it's tactically we should grow. Tactically we should grow, and our power has to increase. Initially, now we may not have that much level of the thing, but as things are moving on, at least we should, basic units has to come into the picture, actually. That means producing models, some small society models. And now at least we have that much protection from the so-called our country leaders. But gradually, so we train our own Kshatriyas and we try to become the self-sufficient, so that other communities in this country, they may not attack. But when we become majority, then it is evolving in the due course of the time. Then we use weapons initially, and then when we conquer the whole world, then we'll reclaim the society. It's a long run, Prabhu. It takes time. But we should begin with the smaller units.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, Paramatma, Prabhu.
Hare
If
Krishna,
anyone wants to leave, they can leave. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. I have a couple of questions actually, but I will
Yes,
ask one or two first, and then if time permits, then I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
The first thing is, what are the 4 movements you said, Prabhu? I couldn't hear because of my internet connectivity issue.
Yeah. So 4 movements. First one is Sankirtan movement.
One is Sankirtana movement.
Second one is temple entry movement. Third one is Harijan movement or initiation movement. Fourth one is classless society.
What society, bro?
Classless.
Classless.
Yes.
What does that mean, bro?
There are no classes in the society. Because we are all Vaishnavas, because this is the community, so centered on the Bhagavad Dharma. So according to Bhagavad Dharma, we are all servants of the Lord, so no classes. But it doesn't mean that there are no classes on the bodily platform. Bodily platform, we have classes, that is the Varnashrama. So that's why it is a Daiva Varnashrama.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. And my next question is, I was trying to understand the followers of śukrācārya when you're talking about they only deliberate upon artha. Probably you have given answer, but I couldn't hear that.
No, so, śukrācārya, you are asking, or the bṛhaspati?
No, śukrācārya only. So
they don't deliberate on artha. They deliberate on the danda. Punishment.
Danda. So how is the danda comes into picture, Prabhu? Even those people have to need artha, right, to enjoy. And then when they want to do sense gratification, they need artha, and then they have to keep a law and order. So how are they only accepting danda as something? Are they not doing sense gratification?
They are doing. So the importance actually, they feel that danda is only the cause for everything. That is their psychology actually. Their mind setup is that. So without danda, even artha is there, what it can do. So someone will steal away because they are always in that kind of insecurity, this is the asuras. So daityas. So they give importance to the first and foremost punishment. Of course, it is having other things also, definitely. But they don't, artha means following dharma and earning artha, that is not at all important for them. They can, robbery they can do and they can get it. Like they will steal the money from the devatas. They will steal the opulence from the devatas and keep. And they
But then where is the danda?
Huh?
Where is danda coming? They are stealing from heavenly planets. Then where is danda coming? Danda means in a law and order. They should not be doing it, right?
Law and order for what? Law and order among themselves. Law and order not for the others. That is their nature is stealing, robbery.
Okay. Now makes sense, bro. I was just thinking, how is that? Because they're already
You are
demons.
thinking in a human being actually. You should think as a asura, then you will understand.
Sure, bro. Makes sense. Thank you so much. Now, there are two other questions, Prabhu. Maybe it's a quick answer for you. Can I go ahead, Prabhu?
Yeah. Others
So one of the
raising
things
hands,
is
so you can go ahead.
A manager who is working outside and yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So the project managers or program managers, administrators or temple president, are they all called as kshatriyas in that sense?
So
including
one
temple
sense,
president,
that means whoever is seeing the, overlooking the, everyone will follow their duties. And the aspects are there, that quality. Because of course, people are rejecting the varnashram dharma, but they cannot say that completely the principles of varnashram dharma is neglected. So intellectual class still is there, administrative class still is there, so production class is there, labor class is there. So even in the modern setup also, these are all there. But only thing is, they are not doing according to the scriptures. So as a project manager, you might be seeing that your team members, how they are following their duties. And also you might be seeing, that means how the money is properly utilized. That's artha. So artha means what? Utilization of money. There also you need the management.
Right.
So and also dharma means duties. They are having the duties. That means according to that company, they will be having the duties, given with the duties, and you have to see that duties are followed or not. And if they are not followed, then they will be given punishment. And also the artha, that means those engagements should lead to the artha, proper artha. It should not lead to the anartha. That means the outcome should come. So that's why, and also once outcome came, so that should be properly assigned. That means it should not be stolen by others. This person is working and it is given to the others credit. It will not, it is a stealing actually. That should not happen. That is also seen by the project manager. Yes?
Yes, bro. Makes sense.
This much, it's a small scale actually. It is a very small scale of a king. But really we are studying the bigger scale, how the big thing. Whole society, how to handle. Not just a 5 members.
Yes, Prabhu. So externally, yeah. So externally, I can understand when I talk about a temple president or GBC, etc. So basically, just now we said whether it is a pot washing or deity worship or anything, there are transcendental activities. Cleaning the temple, you just an example. So temple president is also a transcendental activity in that sense. So I was just wondering whether he is to be considered as a kshatriya or a temple president. Now, not all temple presidents are full-time. Are we saying if he's a full-time, then he is in a Vaishnava category, or someone is a half-time partial, then he is sometime like that, sometime like this?
Yeah. So that's a yeah. So in the temple, whatever the activities are done, those are all fully transcendental, and we don't see those things as a simply some kind of varna or the varna activities. So, but the point is, the management is there. There also we see that means all the committed devotees. That means who are committed for the temple. So 24 hours. Temple president is having he exercising of his powers on whom? He is exercising his powers on majorly on his full-time devotees only. In congregation, he cannot exercise. He can simply say voluntarily. So whatever it's a volunteer service. So even actually in our temples also, our organization is a charitable organization. All the activities are charitable, is a voluntarily activities. By the inspiration they are doing. So here the principle is what? Not the rod of the chastisement. It will not work so much. So the only thing is inspiration. They should inspire and they should make them to do the service. And in that full-time committed devotees, sometimes they may slagging in their service. Then they should inspire them. And it's not really, you can see the full kind of the punishment, the danḍanīti-sāstras, whatever they're discussing, that you may not see. But temple president, when he has to organize the Varnashrama college, and he has to see that there is a community should come actually.
Okay. Basically,
so
Daṇḍanīti
having all the things, full society you will be having at that time.
Okay, so Daṇḍanīti generally for a temple president, he may not apply as if he's applying for others. Law and order, if something is going wrong, because of the Vaishnava, we take a back step, we try to explain him, be respectful. Punishment also doesn't go as a punishment.
Yes,
So I was just thinking how it is different from a kshatriya per se. But that's a good point. You said if it's a Varnashrama college, then we should have it. So that leads to my another question. What exactly the teachings in a Varnashrama college? Now, on the other hand, you told me 24 hours of devotional service means transcendental activities. That's acceptable. But for myself, I'm working in an IT company. So I don't work for devotion for 24 hours. Definitely not. Maybe 3 hours this or 3 hours that, something like that. So what is Varnashrama college training? Because I'm already trained to work outside. So what is the training at Varnashrama college gives?
Yeah. So the agenda is, Prabhupada's planning is like this. So Varnashrama college, so see, we are saying these all the factories and the owners of factories, they are exploiting the society. That means that means they are simply messing the society, and they are completely cow-eating, cow meat eaters, and they are nonsense they are doing. The demons, this is a demonic culture actually we say, Vikarma. So why our devotees has to work under them? So, and their agenda is how to increase their own sense gratification. Based upon that, their planning will be done. And their motivation is sense gratification. And in that framework you are there, in their system you are there, then knowing like a wheel is there, it's moving around, then you have to, if you are sitting on that wheel, you also has to go around. So you are in their framework actually, you are in their systems. Then you have to work like them actually to satisfy them, to get their livelihood. Why you have to? So my Prabhupada's point is, why our devotees has to work for them? Why can't they learn the way Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita and our Shastras? So learn these occupations and become expert and become a teacher and train others, and you also accept some activity in that community and do this.
That is fine, Prabhu. I mean, I'm fully 100% accepting this point. But when it comes to, for example, the technology is... Sorry, I'm telling, if I have to, if a thief is driving fast, the police has to drive much more faster than him to stop that car. I mean, we are externally, we might be in their framework, but we got to overtake them. Otherwise, where is the question that Prabhupada says that devotee should become a a leader of the entire country, kind of a big position, then in that case, we have to be in their form, in their way, and then take it out, right? Like for example, our Ford company owner, he is a Prabhupada disciple, right? And, he is also managing the setup. If I go completely away from the existing current situation, how are we going to dominate the entire society for the next 10,000 years? That's my primary question. We have to be in the system. We have to win over them somewhere or the other, not getting influenced. Is that the intent, what Varnashrama system or college is going to help us? I'm just trying to think aloud. Probably.
Yeah. So that system is going to collapse. So you don't need to conquer the boat which is drowning. So drowning boat, no need to conquer, because these things will be only temporary actually. This kind of system, Prakriti will not allow. Nature will not allow. So conquering the world means you have to create your own communities and own society. And you lead the society by attracting the people towards the plan given by the Lord. And all the people should come to us, not to them, and make them weak and finish them. This is the alternative society you should create. This is the, that's why you should understand 4 movements. I have given lecture also on that. I will share with you in that group. So you can see the Prabhupada letter only I took, and from the line to line, I am explaining from there only. So this is the way to conquer the world. Otherwise, if we don't have our community people, and we cannot conquer the whole world. So because we should know that the systems, whatever we are there, those are all unsustainable. And we are also scared by being there. When the recession will come, when crisis will come, financial crisis, when there is a fall down, we are not there to just help them to be stable, those systems, because those Lord himself is saying, if you go against my Prakriti, I will not bear it. Then what is the need of conquering that? So Prabhupada's plan is not like that. But time being, you might be there, but you should develop your skills to be in your society, to be a teacher in a Varnashrama college. You train yourself in one set of the skills. You give time, and that is a real actually. That's our culture is real. Our Vedic systems are real, are the real sustainable things. So that is the 10,000 years is going to rule that kind of society, not this unsustainable society where all the time problems are increasing every minute, because this science and technology, what it is giving, it's giving the day by day more and more pain. So how can you expect the peace and the happiness in the society? And it's fully made up with the passion. But somehow
we are also using this technology.
Yeah, just we are using to create ours.
Right now we are having Zoom class.
Yeah, this is only the thing is only for time being. Prabhupada also said this. Why we are using this microphone? Same question asked by whatever you are asking. All the questions are asked by his disciples in the morning walk and room conversations. If you see, and also letters, everything is asked. Same thing is asked. It's only there. They created. We are not going to create anything. They created. We are using.
Okay.
And only for time being. And once we created everything sustainable, if we are sustainable, then we don't need to use anything. We don't need any city temple also. He said this much. If people are trained in our Varnashrama college, and if they went to all the rurally, they settled, there is no need to have city temples also. Finish. Our agenda is this, like that Prabhupada says.
Wow. Makes sense, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu. Last quick question. What is lokayata?
Lokayata means this is just it's a vyavaharika. That means eating, sleeping. They don't believe in the higher things like the sarga and the high, just going to the getting liberation. They don't believe in that. It's a Charvaka philosophy.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much.
So, anything else? Anyone questions or any comments? Okay.
A nice class, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Manibhushan, Prabhu. You have something to say?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Nice.
Suresh Kumar, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Prabhu. No, I don't have
Hare-
anything.
Okay,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Thank you. So
Thank you, Prabhu.
thank you for all of you for attending. So tomorrow we'll be continuing our session. So we'll be learning a lot more actually, many more things and many more subtle points in the, especially in the case of kings actually. So Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anand Kodi Vaishnava Bhakta ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Sri Govind Prabhu, you're raising hand. Last but one. Least.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Not least. huh?
Prabhuji, now these days we see the Kshatriyas are mainly now IS and IPS officers are Kshatriyas. So those IS and IPS officers are not standard. So are we going to allow to our student to go that position IS and IPS?
That's good actually. If someone is interested and if they become our devotee, go there. Nice, he can allot the more land to us. If instead of working in the corporate, I encourage the devotees to go and join in IAS. Do little more hard work and get at least some ranking. That means maybe A group A jobs. So that judges and IAS, if they become good, so our development of community will increase very quickly. Because they will allot the land, they will allot the resources, whatever is there with the demons. And so-called, that means present day people they are holding. Powers, even ministers also, our people become good. Ultimately, what we have to do? We have to use all the resources for developing of this kind of setup.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Our devotees should run that kind of IAS coaching centers. And our devotee young youth has to be, so because they are not ready to come to the farm, okay, and they at least, and they are ready to work on outside in the corporate. Why you have to work in a corporate? You become an IAS. If you become a corporate, you will be getting salary, no powers in the society. That's a good idea.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we encourage that. But we want this kind of society. What is said by the Shastra. That is our goal.
Right.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.